What's up, Raiders? Bionic here. Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today we're going to continue this mini series of the speed runs on the free-to-play account. I'm on the Dragon right now. I was trying to optimize everything. It is not easy, okay? The speeds, the gear, the right crit rate, the right crit damage is really hard to do on these champions that I consider to be somewhat secondary. What do I mean by that? Is that these guys are not really in my main teams for the Clan Boss, Classic Arena, Tag Arena, right? Except maybe for the Mausoleum Mage here. So again, like the gear that I have on these guys is not gear that is always there. I always shuffle gear around as the free-to-play player, but now I'm getting to a point where I can almost say that this is good. I don't need to touch it. Everything is well optimized for Dragon, okay? So yesterday we did the Fire Knight, and today it is going to be obviously the Dragon, as you can see right here. So I got my brand new record 1 minute 4 seconds. We're almost breaking the 1 minute mark, and this team so far has been working out pretty well. First though, I do want to give a big shout out to Stu Gaming. He posted these videos. This one was February 27th, 2020, and what we're seeing here is basically him going over the Seer and the Renegade, okay? In this video, he's also going over a few different comps. One thing I still had not fully understand when doing this was the correct speed on each champion. He does give you some clues or some pieces of the puzzle, but overall, like, I felt like I always had a hard time tuning everything to work perfectly, okay? Then he also had a second video a little bit later, this one right here, which is basically kind of the same thing. We're going over like Dragon 20 speed teams. This is August last year, right? And then finally we had this one right here, how to Seer A3 Karma Burn. And what he explains in this video, and this is important, guys, is the right amount of crit damage, decreased defense, and buffs you need to feed your Seer, okay? So what I ended up doing on my setup, basically what he's saying here is that if you drop, let's say, the Gore-Grab or the Apothecary in lead, because it is doable with those guys, and you put in the Royal Guard instead, you're losing a buff. Therefore, you need to put a shield set on either your Mausoleum Mage, your War Maiden, or, like I did, on my Renegade, okay? And the reason I'm doing that is simply because it's perfect for a champion like this. She's level 50. I'm putting like leftover shield pieces. I even have, I think, some flat stats pieces at one point, or I had them. It really didn't make a difference because she's 50. So like, I mean, a flat defense or flat HP chest piece would work on this champion. And I tried it, it worked, but now I had some leftover pieces. Anyway, so what we're gonna do is I'm going to do the run here real quick. I'm going to show you guys what's going on, and then we're going to go over the champions. All right, so let's get going. All right, so hopefully we get another solid run. So far it's been looking good, but here we go. So we have AoE decreased defense buff, boom, right into the Karma Burn. You saw that? So I had enough buffs with 4 buffs, AoE decreased defense for 270% crit damage, no Savage set. Right here, we get cut in by the Apothecary, but you know what? We don't care. That's an extra buff for the Seer to eat. So if anything, maybe I could tune the Seer to have a tiny little bit of speed more. And that's what I mean by how crucial it is to line up the right amount of speed on all your champions, okay? Right here, we're also going to have right there the takedown fall right back into position or like in line in our skill order when we hit the boss. This is somewhat important, or else he would go into one of his skills and he'd start getting stronger, right? So we don't want that to happen. Then it's going to be a little bit slower over here. We will be taking a couple of hits from the Dragon, so you do want a certain amount of survivability on your champions. But see, already not too bad. Almost lost our Royal Guard there. But if everything works out, it's just enough. We have just enough survivability for damage outputs that we're going to be able to clear this. Doesn't look like we'll have a minute 4 seconds. Oh, minute 2 seconds. You know what? Brand new record again. That's right. I love this. So good. Okay, so we're going to go over to champions, and I'll let you guys know how important the speed is. But as I explained, you definitely want these two to be as fast as possible, right? They need to go first. Then our Seer is going to go into the first Karma Burn. Your Renegade can actually be quite slower. You only need her for the second wave. And then your Royal Guard is going to be somewhere in between this, okay? So let's get going with the champions. All right, so what do we got? We first have, let's go over the list in order. We have our Seer, right? So Seer, again, here's the crucial thing you need to understand about her. She needs to be above 200 speed because she's going to be taking 2 turns on the second wave. Therefore, I currently have mine at 206 speed. Again, shout out to Stu Gaming. He had his at 207, roughly the same stats, 100% crit rate, 270% crit damage. I found that to be somewhat the sweet spot for 4 buffs, okay, at least, and the decreased defense on the enemies. That works. That's a one shot for waves. All right. His is, like I said, 207. So maybe I'm going to increase this to like 208, 209 slowly with glyphs and see if that can slightly improve the run. But for now, like I said, it is working. We're using somewhat random pieces here, right? You do need a certain amount of accuracy to eat those buffs. Okay. So I do have like an accuracy banner. And obviously we do have some 6-star crit damage gloves as well as a 6-star crit damage amulet. Very rare on my account as a free to play. I don't have a lot of these, okay? Skills are all done, right? And then as for the masteries, this is what I'm using right now. Maybe this could be optimized to some extent, but you know what? It is working, okay? Then we have the Mausoleum Mage. This guy is built for Tag Arena. He has a lot of resistance, okay? The important part though is that his speed is high, like 224. It could be even maybe a little bit higher, but Stu also had his roughly around this speed range, okay? The rest of the stats really don't matter that much. And as for the skills, they are all completely done. For the masteries, going into Unshakable, because again, I use him in Tag Arena. I just want him to be very high resistance, all right? Then the next one, we have a Royal Guard. This guy I never changed from back when I first geared a champion to have 100% crit rate and high crit damage. You see that I had to use 2 critical rate sets to get that done and then 2 random pieces, okay? So his speed is relatively low, 159. We've got that 100% crit rate, 264% crit damage, a decent amount of attack. It does affect his A2, right? A little bit, takedown, because it does scale off of attack and enemy max HP. But again, what we really want is high crit damage on this guy. The masteries, here are the ones I am using right now. Never really changed this. Don't need to do it for now, so I'm going to keep using this as is. Maybe it could be optimized, but you know what? I'm not in a hurry to do that, all right? Then let's keep moving on. We've got the next one, which is our... So we did 1, 2, 3. We're going to have our War Maiden. So War Maiden, kind of leftover gear. I had a hard time having extra speed pieces for her to reach a decent amount of speed. You can see her with some common gloves back when I first probably farmed these from the campaign. Brutal, right? I was trying to build some champions. I needed just the right main stat. Just kind of went with it, right? So we've got also these boots right here. Obviously speed, you do need an accuracy banner for this to work. I think I have crit damage. Yeah, crit damage here. Defense, you want her to be somewhat tanky. Again, you got to take a couple of hits from the dragons, so you got to be careful with that. Overall crit rate, we don't really care. We really only want accuracy here and a decent amount of, like I said, survivability, right? As for the skills, obviously all done, right? And then for the for the masteries, I was using her against a clan boss. Never change those masteries. Don't need to do it. Probably have this free reset. I do. Okay, so I guess I could optimize this to be even better, but you know what? It's working, so I'll do it later. It's not the most important thing to do right now. All right, and finally, our level 50 Renegade. No masteries. If anything, I could do masteries, get a little bit more defense, and maybe like even HP, right? She doesn't really need accuracy. She's not going to land the debuffs. We don't care about it. All we really want is this right here. But again, the crucial part about Renegade is that you do not want her to be too fast. Okay, she needs to be somewhat fast, but you don't want her to go in the first round. Therefore, you got to be certain that your first champions are going to go, they're going to nuke the waves, and then she's only going to go on that second round. Okay, so for her speed, I have her at 130 speed. Stu Gaming also had her at 130 speed. I used to have her at like 107 speed way back when I was doing like a slow tuned version of this with my Battle Khazar, but now I've sped her up a little bit so that it guarantees that we go before the second wave. And it's important because the Apothecary will do a speed increase and a turn meter increase, okay, on that second wave. So you got to sort of like fit right in before he gets to let the other champions, enemies like the Hordens, go and take out your champions, okay? So this is the sweet spot that I found. Maybe I could increase this by 5. Maybe I could increase the Seer by just a little bit more, and the Apothecary would not even take her turn on the second wave. But again, speed overall is very crucial, okay? So let's go over that here real quick. We do have our War Maiden going first at 225. Then we've got our Mausoleum Mage at 224. Right into our Seer at 206. And then on the second wave, we have the Royal Guard. He actually takes a turn on the first wave, right? No, he doesn't. That's right. Sorry, he doesn't take a turn. And then on the second wave, he will take one at 159. And finally, our Renegade at what do we say? 130? Yeah, 130 speed. I can't find her. Where is she? Down here. Right, level 50. Okay, so that's about it, guys. Okay, really simple or somewhat simple, but again, it's about having the balance of all this gear on your account. And for me, even though I've had the champions for a long time, I did not have enough gear to get this to work, and now I do. Okay, so another big milestone on my account. I want to know what you guys think about all this. Let me know in the comments below. I will quickly say though that I am in gold 4. I do have quite a lot of my Great Hall developed to a certain point, right? So it is affecting the stats. Okay, you got to factor this in. But anyway, like I said, let me know what you think in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching.